happy to be home this week.
Nice to have you. Look at all
Thank
the
you.
beautiful women.
And what about
And you.
handsome men?
And one handsome man, of course. Morning.
Chopped liver over here?
Not chopped liver. We're gonna start here in just a moment. We can start because I see Cookie. So I'm gonna get everyone muted. Hi Diane, hi Becky. We haven't seen you for a while. I know you've been on vacation. There's our grandfather clock. So I will mute everyone. And is it only Tuesday? It's already seemed like a long week. So let's come this morning in a child's pose. So our big toes touch, a wide stance with your knees. Let's extend our arms out in front of us and just slowly allow ourselves to settle into this space this morning. So just taking these first initial few breaths to allow yourself to come energetically into your space. The next several breaths to just land on your mat. Everything that's connected to the floor, just soften and melt. Let's take a collective breath in through the nose. Open up the mouth and just let that out. Ah. Two more like that. A full breath in. Side out. Ah. One more full inhale. Ah. Let it go. And just take these next few breaths to just settle in here. Maybe you've just woken up. So allowing the mind fog to clear. To notice aches or pains or where you want to stretch in the body. Just acknowledging we're not changing anything yet. In that mental state, knowing if the mind is agitated, sleepy, judging, thinking, we're just checking in. And we'll take one more full breath in here. Let it go. And just where you are, forehead on the floor or on a brick, just bring your palms together above the head. And let's set an intention or dedication for our practice this morning. And we'll slowly transition to our hands and knees. Good morning, everyone. Let's tap our tops of our feet awake. And we'll turn the tops of our hands to the floor, opening up that wrist. The opposite hand. And then we'll turn our wrists in towards our knees. Pull them away from your shoulders. Nice, and we'll turn them back around. We'll tuck our toes under and begin to warm up our core. So hover those knees off the floor, navel in and up towards the spine. We're breathing here for 3, 2, on 1, knees to the floor. Untuck the toes, move your hips side to side. Round number 2. So tops of the feet root. We hover those knees. Breathing in here for 3, for 2, and on 1, drop the knees down, bump those hips side to side. 2 more rounds. So tops of the feet root, we want to open them up, hover those knees a couple inches off the floor. Engage that core, navel in and up towards the spine. Relax your jaw. 1 more full inhale. Knees to the mat, exhale. Last round. Tops of the feet root. Make sure those shoulders are over the wrist creases. Hover those knees. Connect with your core. We're breathing here for 3, for 2, on 1, roll over the toes and walk your hands to the back of your mat. Reach for opposite elbows, shake out that head, and just allow that spine to let go. So we'll add some sway side to side. And just allow now the finger pads to come to the floor. We'll interlace the hands behind the back body. You can use a hand towel, find that halfway lift, navel in and up towards the spine. Then we'll draw our hands away from our back body. Let the head be loose, shake it out. Maybe pedal out those feet by just bending those knees. Now we'll find that halfway lift, opposite thumb on top, navel draws in and up towards the spine and forward fold. Find that breath. Warming up those shoulders, pull your hands a little further away from the back body, gorgeous. Now we'll release the hands to the floor, walk your hands forward, and we'll find our first downward dog. So a deep bend in that right knee, reach that left heel to the floor, shake out the head. Fingers are spread wide. We're rooting through our forefinger and thumb, so really engage them into the floor. Now deep bend in the left knee, right heel draws to the mat. Warming up the calves, and just pedal out those feet. And then begin to find stillness in that downward dog. We find that external rotation from the shoulders. Again, shake out that head. Now let's walk our feet back to the top of our hands, to the heel of our hands. Heel toe those feet together. Let's find that halfway lift. Reach your heart forward. Find that beautiful long spine. Soften through the knees, forward fold, Uttanasana. 3 more like that. We find that halfway lift, that navel is engaged in and up towards the spine. We melt forward. 2 more, inhale, audible breathing. Open, expand your collarbones here. Soften through the knees, forward fold. And we'll take 1 more, halfway lift. Beautiful long spine, feeling that opening in the hamstrings. Soften those knees as much as you need to. On an exhale, we hinge forward, Uttanasana. Now rise. Lines of energy out through the fingertips, reach the arms up overhead, and let's cactus our hands out, lift our hearts. Open up the throat, shake out that head. Inhale, arms reach up, and Uttanasana, forward fold. We find that halfway lift, step into high plank. So hips distance with our feet, our shoulders over the wrist creases, hug the muscles to the bones. Now we'll lift that right foot a few inches off the floor, take the right knee to the right shoulder, and draw it back to the earth. Opposite leg lifts just a couple of inches. Now use that core to draw the knee to the shoulder, back to the earth. So we lift a few inches, right knee, right shoulder, left leg lifts, left shoulder. 3 more times on each side. Make sure the shoulders are over the wrist creases. Last 2. And last one on this side. Right knee, right shoulder. We take our left knee, left shoulder. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Turn those toes in slightly. Soften through those knees. And we'll inhale to high plank again. Steady breathing. Activate those muscles, hug them to the bones. Now slowly soften the knees to the earth, untuck the toes. We'll just use our body weight to bring us all the way to the mat. Elbows hug in, heart is still lifted. Let's take that left ear to the floor. Tops of the feet root, move from the back of the heart, baby cobra. And take that right ear down. 1 more each side. Inhale, elbows hug in. We take that left ear to the floor. And last one, we move from the back of our heart, maybe find a little more lift. Right ear down. Back to neutral. We tuck our toes under. Hug those muscles, engage through that core. We press through high plank in 1 breath. Gorgeous downward dog, exhale. Extend that right leg high. Bend the knee, stack that hip. Right hip on top of the left. Shake out that head. Reach that right knee a little higher. Now extend through that right leg. We find warrior one. Left heel on the floor and we rise. Come all the way up. Soften in that right thigh. Draw that right hip back. Full inhale here. And let's just open into warrior two. Drop into those hips. Track that right knee over the right ankle. Steady breathing. Now reverse your warrior. Right hand high. Gaze to the outer edge of that left foot. Let's snake that left hand behind the back body. Find that right hip crease. Now drop a little deeper into the knees. Still breathing here. We open into warrior two. And then find our first vinyasa. Hands to the floor. That right leg back. We pause in high plank for a moment to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Toes tucked under, eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Extend the left leg high. Bend the left knee, reach the knee up towards the ceiling. Then we lengthen through that left leg. Find that scissor action in the hips. Step that leg forward, warrior one. Firm foundation with our feet. We use our breath to come all the way up. And soften those shoulders down the back body. Nice. Now let's open into warrior two. Soft eye gaze over that left middle finger. Drop into those hips a little deeper. Track that left knee towards the left pinky toe. Now please reverse your warrior, left hand high. We snake that right hand behind the back body. Maybe find that left hip crease. Find your eye gaze towards the outer edge of that right leg. Now drop into the hips. Go a little deeper in that left thigh. We find our way back into warrior two. And then our vinyasa, hands to the floor, that left leg back. We pause for just a moment to find our low plank. A cobra or up dog. And downward dog, exhale. Warming up the body, connecting with our breath. Staying in this present moment. Take another full inhale. We complete that exhalation, bend those knees, step, hop, jump, or just walk to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift, forward fold, and use that inhalation to rise. Full breath in, arms reach up overhead. We cactus our hands out to the side as we lift our hearts. Inhale, and swan dive forward. Take your time. We find that halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog, downward dog, exhale. Same sequence, right leg lifts, track that right knee up towards the sky. We extend that right leg and step it forward into warrior one. Use that inhalation and open into warrior two. Beautiful. We reverse and then cycle through our vinyasa. Hands to the mat. Our right leg back. High to low plank. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog. Exhale. Other side. Please extend that left leg. Track that left knee up towards the sky as we stack our hips. We extend that left leg and step it forward into warrior one. And rise. Moving with our breath, we open into two. Reverse the inhale. And then cycle through your vinyasa. Please take your time. One movement per breath. High plank to low. Slow it down. A cobra or upward dog. And downward dog. Pause and breathe. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Your eye gaze is focused on the back of your mat. Rooting through the hands, toes turned in just slightly. Take another inhale. Exhale completely, bend the knees, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift. Uttanasana. Now drop into that chair. Really find that deep bend in the knees. We lift our hearts. We spin our pinkies in towards that center line. We draw our shoulders back into the sockets. Now everyone wade into those heels. We want to lift all 10 toes. Keep tracking those arms past your ears. Let's just cactus our hands out to the sides today. Shake out that head. Drop those hips a little deeper, tuck under that tail. Energetically squeeze those knees together. So all 10 toes are lifted. Now extend those arms. Beautiful. Hands through heart center, fold forward. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High plank to low plank. A cobra or up dog and downward dog. Exhale. Right leg lifted high. We'll step it forward into warrior one. And use that inhalation to come all the way up. Now we'll take the hands behind the back body. Lift our hearts with the inhale. Our silver surfer. Crown of the head on the inside of that right foot. Draw your hands as far away from the back body as you can and steer those hips towards the back of your space. Right knee tracks over that right ankle. Spread the toes wide. Our eyes are open, our breath is steady. Track that right knee over the right ankle. Take another breath here. Complete that exhalation. From that foundation, rise, use that core. We release our hands back through warrior one. Same thing, we open into warrior two. We reverse with the inhalation and then cycle through our vinyasa. Take your time, right leg back, one breath per movement, high to low. You can always add extra push-ups or skip the vinyasa and meet in downward dog. We pause and breathe. Left leg lifted high, warrior one, and use that inhalation, come all the way up. Nice, hands behind the back body, opposite thumb on top. We lift our hearts, open up the throat, and silver surfer. Crown of the head on the inside of that left foot. So spin those hips towards the back of your space. The toes are spread wide, that left knee is tracking over the left ankle. Crown of the head is reaching towards the floor. We find our breath. And spread those toes a little wider. One more inhale. Complete that exhalation. Slowly rise. We release our hands back through warrior one. We open into warrior two. Reverse with the inhalation. And hands to the floor. Your vinyasa, left leg back. High to low plank. A cobra or upward dog, and downward dog. We pause and breathe. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Keep your hands where they are. We're just going to lift those heels up, opening up the arches of the feet. From here, hover those knees a couple inches above the mat. So you're finding that deep stretch in the lower back. Now lift those sits bones and draw the heels to the floor. We're going to do that 2 more times. Hands don't move. Our feet don't move. We're going to just lift those heels as high as we can. Hover those knees a couple of inches above the mat. Find that really deep stretch here. Now begin to lift through those sits bones and activate those heels to the ground. Gorgeous. We'll take one more. So open up the arches of the feet as much as you can. Hover those knees. Our core is engaged here. Really deep, deep bend. Now lift through those sits bones. Heels to the floor. Beautiful. Shake out that head. Lift that right leg up towards the sky. We'll step it forward, warrior one. And come all the way up. We're going to interlace our hands behind the back body again. Lift the heart with the inhalation. Now stay here. Open up those thumbs and slide those hands down that left thigh. Our throat is open, our eyes are bright, and that right knee is tracking forward. Now lift the head and find silver surfer. Crown of the head on the inside of the foot. that right foot. So option to stay here. Those that want to go for a little deeper bend, release the hands and slide that right shoulder under the right knee. My hands are outside, are splaying that front leg. Track that right knee over the ankle. 2 more breaths. Just finding a different opening in the body. We take 1 more inhale. If you have that right shoulder underneath the right knee, just release the hands and we'll come back into warrior 1. We open into warrior 2. Reverse the warrior on an inhale and we take our vinyasa. Slow it down, right leg back, high to low, a cobra or up dog, downward dog, pause and breathe. Left leg lifts. We step it forward into warrior 1 and come all the way up with that inhalation. Nice. Reach those arms up past those ears. Now hands behind the back body. We lift our hearts. Open up those thumbs and slide the hands down the back of the right thigh. So you may not go very far, but see if you can soften the face, the chest. Keep that left knee tracking over the left ankle. Now we lift our head and the crown of the head on the inside of the front foot. We draw our arms away from the body. We stay here, find our balance, or release the hands. We're taking that left shoulder underneath that left knee. My hands are on either side of the front foot. Maybe you come onto the ball of that front leg. Just find a different opening here in the body. We take 1 more breath here. Complete that exhalation. Slowly rise. Everyone back through warrior 1. Nice. We open into 2. Reverse the warrior on the inhale. And then cycle through your vinyasa. High to low. Take your time. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale. Pause and breathe. Keep your hands where they are. Let's walk our feet about a foot closer to our hands. And we'll just find opposite ankle. So left hand on that right ankle. Twist under that right shoulder. Eyes are open, head is heavy. Shake out that head. And we'll come to the other side. So the right hand on your left ankle, gaze under that left shoulder. Still breathing here. Another full inhale. Let's release that right hand down. Step your feet back into a downward dog. And we'll cycle through a vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale. Our toes into a single line. Extend that right leg up towards the sky. Let's take that right knee towards the right shoulder. And extend that right leg up towards the sky. Now take that right knee towards your nose, shoulders over the wrists. Maybe kiss that knee and extend that right leg up. The knee draws across to that left shoulder. Pause here and extend. And last time, our knee to our nose. Look between your hands, pulse here. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. We find our crescent lunge or our high lunge. We come all the way up. Eyes are eye level. Drop into the hips. So we'll hover that left knee to the floor. Reach the hands alongside the body. Let's slow it down. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, hover. Move with your breath. Full inhale. 3 more. Exhale down. We hover here. Stretch out that hip flexor. Big breath in. Last 2. Last one, we lift. We'll hover and find our way back into crescent lunge. Really reach through that left heel. Now we're engaging everything on that right foot. Let's just bring our hands to our heart center. We'll push off that back leg for our Virabhadrasana 3. So in 1 breath, watch the space in front of you. Play with that soft bend in that right knee and then lift that left leg higher. Eyes are eye level, look straight ahead. Stay here. Feel the soles of your palms press together and lift that left leg a little higher. For 3, for 2, on 1, we take a big step back through high lunge, crescent lunge, and our vinyasa. Beautiful. Right leg back, high plank to low. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. We're still on this right leg. We're gonna come to high plank and spin to Vashisthasana. Heels to the right. Right hand directly underneath that right shoulder. Left hand reaches up. So all kinds of modification. You can take the legs, offset the feet, always drop that knee to the earth, bump up those hips. Looking good, you guys, gorgeous. Nice, Stephanie, still breathing here. Imagine you're that rainbow shape. Bump those hips a little higher. For 3, for 2, on 1, that left hand comes to the floor. We cycle through our vinyasa, high to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Nice, downward dog, exhale. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out the head, bring those toes into a single line. Extend that left leg up towards the sky. Now we'll take that knee outside the left shoulder. Find that connection maybe, pause, and extend. We draw our knee to our nose, maybe kiss that knee, and find that length. Now draw that knee outside the right shoulder or elbow, maybe find that connection, and extend. Last time, we'll take our knee to our nose and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we step that leg forward and come all the way up. Shift your eyes eye level, arms reach up high. Now we're gonna hover that right knee just a few inches. Pause here, beautiful, then find that length and extension. We're breathing, and then melt with that exhale. Steady breath in and out through the nose. We soften on that exhalation. Big breath in. Let's take 2 more. Lower that right knee just a few inches above the floor. Full breath in. This will be the last one. That right knee hovers. Now extend back into that crescent lunge. Let's bring our prayer to our heart center. Connect the soles of the palms. You're on the ball of that right leg. So reach that right heel towards the back of the space. You want to puff up in that back of the hamstring. Now we'll push off that back leg into Virabhadrasana 3. Nice, Bill. Soften through that left knee. Lift that right leg higher than you think you can. We're spinning our hips towards hip points to the earth from the back of that right thigh. Lift that leg a little higher. We're breathing here for 3. Maybe soften through that left knee, spread the toes wide. 2. On 1, big step back through crescent lunge. Nice, now release the hands to the floor. Left leg back. We'll cycle through a vinyasa here, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Come back to high plank. Vashisthasana on the other side. Heels to the left. That left hand, make sure it's not in front of you. Directly underneath the shoulder. Offset the feet or stack them right hand high. Now bump up those hips. Steady breathing here for 3, for 2, and on 1, that right hand comes to the floor. Cycle through a vinyasa, or we'll meet in downward dog, and we'll find our child's pose. Really got warm that first half of the class. So let's just walk our hands alongside our body. Take our forehead to the floor or a brick. Move your forehead side to side. Drop into your hips. Let the belly be nice and soft. Slow down that breath. Swallow. Opening up those ears. Taste inside the mouth. And just notice the sensations inside the nostrils. Maybe the temperature of the air as it comes in through the nose. One more full inhale. Complete that exhalation. And we'll slowly just take our hands forward. And then tuck the toes under, lift those sits bones, and just walk our hands towards our feet, walk our feet and hands towards one another, heel toe the feet together, and then slowly unwind that spine. Head is heavy. Let's open up those shoulders. Rolling 3 or 4 times in one direction and then change direction. Nice. We bring our hands to our heart center and find our chair pose. Fingers towards the floor, reach the arms up overhead, and we'll take that right elbow underneath our left. Wrap the arms, weight into our heels, use that core to lift that right thigh up and over, tuck the toes, spin everything into that center line, squeeze those thighs together, and let's everyone drop those hips 6 more inches. Now lift those elbows, feeling that space right between those shoulder blades. Now press your forearms towards the front of your space. Our tail is tucked under. We drop those hips 2 more inches. Take another full breath here. And let's everybody release everything. Reach the arms up, the foot to the floor, and we'll just bring our prayer back to our heart center. Pause here. And we'll find our chair pose on the other side. Fingers brush to the floor, arms reach up. We take our left elbow underneath our right. So wrapping our arms, right foot roots from our core, lift the thigh up and over. Spin everything into that center line. Now we'll squeeze those thighs together, drop those hips 6 more inches. Now lift those elbows and press the forearms towards the front of your space. So breathe into the shoulder blade space, right where you're finding that opening. 2 more breaths. Another full inhale. We'll release everything. Left leg to the floor, big breath in. Simultaneously, right elbow under, right thigh up and over. Find that bind maybe. Lift those elbows. You know where we're going. We're going to draw those elbows towards the knee. So I'm going to show you the side view. We want to really puff up those kidneys. Back of the neck is lengthening. My eyes are still eye level. We stay here or we unwrap that right thigh. So don't keep that leg down here. See if you can lift it a little higher. Play with a deeper bend in that left knee. So I take maybe an inch bend in that left knee. I can lift that right leg a couple more inches higher. 2 more breaths. 1 more full inhale. On an exhale, slowly take that right thigh back up and over. Wrap the legs. You find that tall spine, 1 full inhale. Complete the exhale, and we'll release everything. And we'll simultaneously find the other side, left elbow under, eagle on the other side, left elbow under, left thigh up and over. So drop into those hips, still breathing. Now stay here or elbows towards the knee. Eyes are eye level. Stay here or let's unwrap that thigh. Lift that leg higher than you think you can. So everyone, let's take a deep bend in that right knee, maybe an inch or 2. see what that does to the left leg. Can you lift it a little higher? Back of the neck lengthens. And with control, we're gonna take that thigh up and over. Eyes are still eye level. Find that bind, gorgeous. And we'll release everything. Full breath in. Samastitihi, hands to heart center. Let's pause and breathe. Slow everything down. Swallow a few times. We'll flutter our eyelids open. We'll take one more balancing posture this morning. So let's just lift that knee, that right knee. We'll take that left hand on the knee. Start with your right hand on your hip and engage that right foot by the left knee. So you're finding a twist towards the right side of the room. We're not going to add any arms here. See if you can start to take your eye gaze over the right shoulder. Still breathing, maybe you lose your balance. Then shift your eyes towards the front of the space. Now let's lift our hands and unhinge that knee, flex that right foot. Pulse, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more Virabhadrasana 3. We're gonna bend that knee and pitch forward, hands to your heart center, or take your hands out to the side, taking flight. Take a deeper bend in that left knee, upward dog in the chest. Breathing here, nice, for 3, for 2, on 1. Keep that right knee lifted. Come all the way back to center, nice. And we'll lower it down to the floor, Samastitihi. So same thing on the other side. We're gonna lift that left knee, take the right hand on that left knee, and that left hand on your hip. Maybe you find that connection with the left foot against the right knee. So eyes are eye level. Just gaze over that towards the left side of your space. And maybe explore taking your eye gaze towards the back of the space. So our body's not moving, we're just spinning our chest and our head. Nice, and we'll slowly take our gaze back to center. Extend the arms up overhead. Unhinge that left knee, flex the foot. We pulse for 5 without leaning back for 4, 3, 2, and one more Virabhadrasana 3. We bend that left knee, can bring your hands to your heart, pitch your chest forward. Option to take your hands out to the sides, taking flight, gorgeous. Lift that left leg higher, upward dog in the chest. The right toes are spread wide for 3, taking flight for 2. On 1, we come all the way up, keep that knee lifted, and we'll lower it down and wipe the slate clean. A beautiful breath in, forward fold, Uttanasana. We find that halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high plank to low, cobra or upward dog, and downward dog, exhale. Right leg lifted high, step it forward into a low lunge. Left knee on the earth, hands splay that front foot, untuck the left toes, and melt into those hips. So we'll draw our hips back, flex those right toes. Can walk those hands back. Really rooting through that shin bone on the left foot. Open up the top of the left foot. Feel all of the toenails on the left foot. Nice, we'll find a deep bend in that right knee and lift your heart. Now let's draw our hips back again. Flex those right toes. And one more deep bend in that right knee. We stay here in this runner's stretch, or we find Hanumanasana, our version of the split. So walk that right leg forward. You can soften into the split. Always a version to use a brick. Keep the body safe, protected. Soften through the shoulders. Or just stay in that runner stretch. So 3 more breaths here. Last 2. Last full breath in. Complete that exhalation. We're going to tuck those left toes under. In one movement, we lift that right leg high. Shake it out. And let's just lower that right leg down, downward dog. Left leg lifted up. We step it forward into a low lunge. Right knee on the earth. Untuck the right toes and melt into those hips. So maybe walk the left toes more to the front of your mat. Drop a little deeper into the hips. You can keep both hands on the inside or splay the foot with both hands. Now let's draw our hips back, really flex those left toes. Gross. Steady breathing. Connect that right shin to the earth. Now we'll find that deep bend in the left knee again. Heart lifts, soften through those hips. And we'll draw our hips back again. Flex those left toes. And one more time, we bend through that left knee, stay here, or walk those left toes forward. Hanumanasana. Finding split, your version of the splits on the other side. Find that scissor action in the hips, stay supported. You can use 2 bricks, or again, slide that brick underneath that thigh. Give yourself a little extra, brings the floor a little closer to you, gives you a little extra support. Allowing that body to soften so it can open. Take another full inhale. Complete that exhalation. We'll tuck our right toes under now. In one breath, we extend that left leg up towards the sky and just shake it out, downward dog. Pause and breathe here. So we'll walk our hands back towards our feet. Our feet are hips distance apart. Let's use our peace fingers around those big toes to find that halfway lift. Bend the elbows to the sides, crown of the head towards the floor. Shake out that head. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your eyes open here. More weight into the balls of the feet, really opening up those hamstrings. Let the head be loose. Yeah, shake out that head. Stay here with the toes or slide the hands underneath the feet. Or the other third option is taking your hands behind the calves. You can reach for opposite elbows or wrists. Find a deeper opening here. Allow the body to soften and just reconnect with that breath. Relax your face. We're breathing here for 3, for 2, on 1. Release your hands, heel toe those feet together. We're gonna find our way into a chair pose. And then just drop those hips. And slowly keep dropping those hips until your buns come all the way to the mat. Nice. And take your feet out a little further in front of you and give yourself a hug. Forehead to the tops of your knees. And we'll slowly come onto our back body. How's everyone doing?
Super good.
Great. So hands, and let's give ourselves one more hug this morning. Let's rock our spine side to side. And we'll cactus our arms to the side. Let's just drop our knees to the right. Shift your gaze over the opposite shoulder. Soften through the jaw, find that breath. And we'll take those knees back to center and take them in the opposite direction. Gaze over that right shoulder. Now if your hands are clenched, spread the fingers wide. Another breath here. We'll draw the knees back to center, feet flat on the floor, setting up for our bridge. So we'll take 2 bridges or wheels this morning. So you can go right into full wheel if you'd like. Otherwise, we turn our palms up towards the sky, feet root, and just lift those hips as high as you can. Walk the shoulders underneath. Energetically, we're squeezing everything into that center line. Our chest, our breastbone is reaching towards our chin. Steady breathing, eyes up towards the ceiling. Let's lift those hips a little higher, everyone. And take your time slowly. Let the air out. Allow the spine to connect with the floor. We'll let those knees kiss and bring both hands on our belly. Pause and breathe. And one more, bridge or wheel. Can I ask you to help, if you could just stand up? If you have a partner or maybe some time later on with someone from your house and you're not quite in the full wheel, you can have your partner stand right above you. Hopefully you can see. I'm gonna reach my hands on Bill's ankles, setting up for a bridge. So I'm reaching for his ankles and I just come all the way up. So, yes, he gives me a little extra support below my ribs. And when you're ready to come down, chin in, you unwind the spine, take your time, Supta Baddha Konasana. How's everyone doing? Nice, beautiful. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, hand on your chest. Nice, everyone. Hand on your belly. Pause and breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. And let's take both hands on our heart space. And this morning, let's just give a little love to Ruth Bader Ginsburg for all of the hard work she did for us these several decades, really changed the course of our country. We'll flutter our eyelids open, hands outside those knees. Let's draw those knees together and rock forwards and backwards into our Navasana. So we'll stay supported or extend those legs, reach the arms forward, pump up your breath, really warming up that body with that victorious Ujjayi breath. For 3, lift everything a little higher for 2. And on 1, we cross our ankles, hands by our hips. You can support with your feet, take your bottom off the floor, or find that core Navasana. Supported or extended, eyes eye level. Use that breath. Another full inhale. Opposite ankle on top, hands by your hips. Again, use your feet, maybe lift or find that core. And one more set, Navasana. Steady breathing for 3, for 2, and on 1. Cross your ankles. Let's lift and cycle through a vinyasa or just meet us in downward dog. High to low, cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Right leg lifts. Take that right foot outside the right hand on that 45-degree angle. Stay here, really reach to that left heel. Now drop the left knee to the earth, untuck the toes. Option to come down onto your forearms or onto that brick. We open up to that nice edge on the right side of the foot. Let go of any holding in the body here. Connect with that breath. Maybe take a body scan. Let go of tension, holdings in the body. We take one more inhale. Finish that exhalation and just walk that right foot across the mat. As we settle into our pigeon. So we'll tuck the left toes under first. Let's lift that left thigh off the floor. Then we untuck the left toes and walk our hands forward. So 3 to 5 breaths here. Slow down the breath. Just allowing the hips to slowly open. And just watch the sensations that bubble up to the surface. Just noticing them. Take another full inhale. We complete that exhalation. Inhale, lift our hearts. Let's tuck those left toes under. We'll step that right leg back into downward dog. If you want to cycle through a vinyasa, please do. Otherwise, we'll extend that left leg up towards the sky and step the foot outside the left hand. Really reach through that right heel first, drop into those hips, and tuck that, drop that right knee to the earth, untuck the toes. So after a few breaths, we find maybe a little deeper openings to find our way onto the forearms or on our brick. And then allow that left knee to open to gravity. So taking a body scan, relax the face, the jaw. Take another full inhale. Complete that exhalation. Now we'll walk that left foot across the mat. Finding pigeon on the other side. Let's just tuck the right toes under, that right thigh off the mat. Then we allow that leg to come back to the floor. You can walk your hands forward. Slowing everything down. Just tracing that breath in and out through the nose. Opening up our ears. Melting through our hearts. Let's take another deep, full inhale. Complete that exhalation. This time we lift our heart, take weight into that left hip, and we'll swing our legs around for our Paschimottanasana. We move that extra flesh and reach the arms up overhead and forward fold. Shake out that head. Give your feet a little massage. Really deepening, enjoying our breath these last few minutes of class. So energetically staying in here, connecting with that breath. Let's lift our hearts, and we'll take that right heel on that left hip point. Allow that right knee to fall to the floor. Maybe you find that bind behind the body, reaching for the toe, or we'll extend both hands up towards the sky. Full breath in, and then melting forward. Reaching for that left ankle or toes. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Bend the left knee as much as you need to. Two more breaths. Another full inhale. Complete the exhalation. Now just lift the heart. We'll take that right foot outside the left knee, and we'll just bend that left knee. Bring that left heel in. So I'm just crossing my right foot over my left knee. We'll extend the left hand up towards the sky. Take the elbow outside the knee, and let's just twist. A full breath in. We lengthen and soften on the exhale. Inhale, lift, and soften. One more breath in, and we'll twist, and we'll just counter twist in the opposite direction. And come back to neutral. We'll extend our legs again. Paschimottanasana between sides, full inhale, and melt forward. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Soften those knees as much as you need to. And on the next inhale, lift your heart, and we'll take that left heel into that right hip point. Maybe we find that bind left hand behind for the big toe, or we extend both hands up towards the sky and melt over that right thigh. Slowing down the breath. And inhale, lift the heart. And we'll take that left foot outside the right knee, and we bend that right knee in. So both sits bones here. So we've just crossed that left foot over the right knee. Let's extend that right hand up towards the sky and take that elbow outside the knee and twist over that shoulder. Full breath in, we lengthen and twist. We breathe in and twist. One more inhale, twist over that shoulder, and we'll counter twist in the opposite direction. And come back through neutral, extend those legs, reach the arms in front of you, and slowly come all the way back onto the back side of your body. And we'll take one last posture. We'll find our happy baby. Reach for the inner arches of your feet and just rock side to side. And we'll straddle our legs, soften through the face. And then drawing your feet, the soles of your feet together. Hug those heels towards the inner groins. And we'll slowly allow the legs to come to the floor. Turn the palms up to the sky and let everything just melt. And finding that next full incoming breath. Let it go. Moving our fingers and toes. Stretch your arms up overhead. And bending both knees, just curling up to either side of your mat. Staying there for a breath or two. Just enjoying Shavasana for a little longer. Those that want to find your way to a comfortable seated position. And a poem this morning from Mary Oliver. Today is our first official day of fall. It's called When I Am Among the Trees. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locusts, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give up such a hint of gladness, I would almost say they save me daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself in which I have goodness and discernment and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches. And they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into this world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. So bringing your hands to your heart center, bowing your forehead to the tips of your fingers. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for a beautiful practice. Enjoy the first day of fall, and namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining our practice this morning.
Happy fall, you guys.
Happy fall. If you haven't registered to vote, please register to vote. I think it's National Voters Registration Day. So encourage people to vote. You can't
I have a feeling we're all registered in this crowd.
Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful